So I don't know if we've clarified this yet. Probably not, I guess. Where exactly did the COVID come from, and what exactly was it for? Because I know we talked about like the relationship with China and all of this, and there's different theories. Some people think it literally originated in the United States and was used as a biological weapon, like against us from our own government, or in China. So what are the theories? Let's just ask that. What are the theories? And then what do you think actually happened as far as COVID?
I am not fully up to speed on all of the theories.
Yeah, it's like a million.
I got asked about the Wuhan military games that happened in the fall recently, and I said, maybe, but I think the strongest evidence is elsewhere. So I'll just give you the case that I think for which the strongest evidence exists. So there is this U.S.-China grant proposal called the Diffuse Proposal. It was submitted to DARPA, which is the R&D division of the Pentagon. And in this proposal, the scientists, including people your audience may have heard of, including EcoHealth Alliance President Peter Daszak, University of North Carolina virologist Ralph Baric, probably the #1 coronavirus engineering expert in the world, they said, we are going to try to find the next SARS outbreak, SARS 2.0, you might say. We're going to look for SARS 2.0. So we're going to find things that are close enough to SARS to be dangerous, but far enough that our existing vaccines and therapeutics will not work. So what they were looking for is SARS-related coronaviruses with about a 20% difference in this receptor binding domain. And they said, we're going to take these SARS 2.0 potential viruses, and we're going to check what might make them a pandemic virus. And one of the things that they proposed is inserting polybasic cleavage sites at the S1, S2 boundary of the spike protein. Specifically a furin cleavage site, which is a mutation that when furin is present, cleaves open the spike protein and allows the virus to infect a cell. So they proposed that in 2018. They submitted to DARPA through my organization or prior organization, US Right to Know. I obtained via FOIA the drafts of that proposal. And in the drafts of that proposal, in the margins, they said a couple of things. They said kill everybody, take over government. Well, they said, so we're a little worried about DARPA not liking the Chinese aspect of this proposal because they were going to do it with the Wuhan Institute of Virology. So we're going to tell the Pentagon, we're going to tell DARPA that we're going to do this at Ralph Baric's lab in North Carolina. But really, we're going to do a lot of these assays, aka tests. We're going to do a lot of these tests in Wuhan. So why do they want
to do them in Wuhan?
That's a great question. The documents don't get into motive, but some of the scientists that I talked to at the time I reported this mentioned the fact that in Wuhan, it was a lower biosafety level. So it's less of a pain. You don't have to put on the spacesuit. Yeah. You could do it more quickly at a lower biosafety level. You don't have to worry about American regulations. It's like any other industry that outsources to China, right? Yeah. You don't have to deal with American regulations.
There's no rules. Yeah. Have the kids do it. Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah. It's like toys made with lead, but a bioweapon. Right. Yeah. So
are these people psychotic though? I'm sorry. Are they insane? I can't even, I don't know. That's not a good question. You don't know, but they seem insane to me. Why are we doing this stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they knew, they say in the margins of the grant proposal, we know US scientists will freak out if they know that we're going to do this at this very low biosafety level in China. So we're going to, not say that in our grant proposal.
Yeah.
So, that's in 2018, they submit this grant proposal. And then in late 2019, early 2020, what do we get? We get SARS-CoV-2, otherwise known as SARS 2.0. So these guys were looking for SARS 2.0. They said, we're going to tell our intended funders that we're going to do it in the US, but actually export it to Wuhan. And then, a year and a half later, just the very virus that they were proposing on creating, SARS 2.0, ends up in Wuhan. And actually, Xi Jinping, the head coronavirus virologist at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, this has not gotten a lot of attention, but my former organization, US Right to Know, reported that she really opposed calling it SARS-CoV-2 because it sounded a lot like SARS. Well, I presume because it sounded a lot like SARS 2.0, and I think that could have implicated her.
Yeah, they got to change the branding and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Change the branding as a marketing move.